Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. So in the next two episodes, we are going to focus on what is required to log in and log out our users. Now, if you remember, we already completed pretty much everything about the registration for our users, so it is going to be a lot of fun configuring the login and the logout as well. Let's get started. Okay, so I'd like to start with changing the way that we maintain our passwords in the database. Now, if you remember, I said previously in that course that we are not going to store passwords as plain text. Now, actually, what happens now, if we actually inspect to our database with the SQLite 3 GUI tool that I talked about previously in that course, then we can see that we have two users, but we see their passwords as plain text. Now, this is something that is not considered as a secure thing to do. So we are going to change this and we are going to store a hashed password, and that is going to allow us to store crypted passwords. So let's go ahead and do that. And the first step for that will be to install a library with pip install command. So I will pause our website for a minute and I will say pip install Flask underscore Bcrypt. Okay, so as I install that, then I can clean my screen again and I can go to PyCharm and import this library. Now, again, what this is going to do, it is going to allow us to store the password as hashed password and not as plain text as we saw. So I'm already located inside my dunder init file, and in here we need to initialize this bcrypt library. I mean an instance of a bcrypt class inside that library. So it will be from flask underscore bcrypt import bcrypt like that. And I just realized that we forgot to delete this vendor template from here. So let's go ahead and do that. And down here, I'm going to create an instance of that and we are going to rely on that to use it in our entire application. So I will say bcrypt equals to bcrypt and I will pass our app as an argument inside the bcrypt class. Okay, so once we have done that, then we can basically rely on the bcrypt to start generating hashed passwords rather than storing them as plain text. So the way that we can do this is by going to our user model and start creating some additional properties. Now, if what I say right now does not make sense to you, then it is quite fine. But in object-oriented programming, there are something that is called getters and setters. So what this means, it means that we can basically configure the way that we want to receive back an attribute and the way that we want to set the attribute. So this is going to help us because we need to create one more property and we can name it password. And then once we set that password, then we can execute additional code to turn this password to an hashed password. So let's see that in action, and I think when I write the code of that, it will totally make sense for you. So I will open my models.py, and in here we will start creating some additional properties. Now the properties are going to be set unique per instance, so it is important to understand that. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to use the decorator of property. So again, this is just going to be like an additional attribute that is going to be accessible from each instance. And once I have done that, then I will basically name it password and not password hash like I did here. And I will say return self.password. So those lines of code are not doing anything special right now, because what this says, it says that okay, I have a new property and I basically return it back when the user wants it, or myself as a developer who wants to see some attributes. And the tricky line is actually starting from here. So I will now say password dot setter. So basically we can allow ourselves to execute some lines of code before we actually set a password to an user instance. So it will be def password in here again, and this time I will receive additional parameter, and this parameter is going to be the password that is going to be filled in when we want to set that up. So the parameter name is going to be plain text password, like that. And I will go down our password.setter, and I will basically override what is going to be stored as password hash. Now this time I'm not going to make that to be equal to plain text password. Besides, we are going to use the functionality of the Bcrypt variable that we have created. So I will go to here and I will say from market import Bcrypt. Now if you remember, this is accessible from the dunder init file because we initialized it over there. And now I will go back to our models.py and I will use some of the functionalities of this Bcrypt instance. So I will remove this for a minute and I will say bcrypt dot generate password hash, and this generate password hash is probably going to receive a plain text password as an argument. So it will be as easy as giving this plain text password as an argument to this function, or to this method, excuse me. So now as we have done that, then I like to apply some decoding in here, so it will be just .decode, and we will use the UTF-8 to decode this generated password hash. Okay, so once we have set this, then we should go to our routes.py and take some additional changes in there. Because if you remember, in our entire project, the only code that is responsible to create instances of that user is actually the routes.py. So I will go to here and right under our register page, if you remember, we set our password underscore hash to a plain text password. Now the only thing that I have to do here is basically, besides giving the password hash argument, is giving the password argument. So this will be responsible to complete the entire process of storing passwords as hashed passwords, because we set our password and this line of code goes inside the password.setter because we set a new password to a new user, and then this line of code is getting executed, and this is exactly what we need because we storing a hashed password. So this is the process, and we want to test this up actually in the next user that we are going to register. So I will go to our terminal and I will say clean the screen again, and we will execute python run.py. And once we have this, then we can verify this by refreshing our page and going to register. And now I will create JSC2 3 because we had JSC2, and we will set a valid email. And now I want to prove you that we are using 126 again, so I will just cut this out from here and paste this in twice. And once we create an account, then the results are quite great. But now to actually verify this, I'd like to show you the results from the GUI that we use. So we can go to here and we can basically refresh that out by pressing F5. And now you can see that we have a hashed password for the JSC3 user. So this is exactly what we wanted to achieve by using the getter and the setter to differentiate between what happens when we do each one of them. Alright, so now that we have secured our passwords, it is about time to start working on the way that we can log in our users. Now currently we will start by designing what is required to basically display a login page successfully to our users. So it will mostly require the steps that we probably have done until now. So we will create a login form within our forms.py, and for sure we will set up a new route and we will create a separated template for that. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Okay, so I will go to our routes.py. As you see, I'm already here, and we can basically start working on the same process like we have done to design our register page. So I will zoom in here to make the font bigger. So we will start by saying @app.route, and we want to send our users to /login, and we want to allow the methods of get and post like we have done in the register page. So it will be get and then post like we did previously, and then we can basically name it login page, and we can go inside our function. Now I want this to be more centralized, so excuse me for pressing enter a lot of time. And now in here we will just start by returning a render template, and we will send our users to login.html like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this template as we did not create it yet. So it will be just as easy as going here and create the HTML file, and we will name it login. We will delete the auto-generated HTML. Now I will rely on the register.html to kind of help us a little bit. So I will open the register.html and I will copy everything from here and I will paste this in the login.html. And now I want to delete everything that is under our body text. So I will just minimize the div class container and I will just delete everything that is right here. And there we go, we only left with the body. So I will also change that to login page. It makes a lot of sense. And I will test our results out. So we will go to our website and we will go to /login. And you can see that we are inside a blank new page, so everything works well. Now, if you remember, in the navigation bar, as you see, the register works because I clicked on it, but the login page is not working. So let's go ahead and fix that quickly. So I will go to our PyCharm and it should be inside our base.html, and we should go down and we should identify this line in the login style. So this is right here, and we can basically copy the URL_for. So you should already be familiar with this function, and we should paste this in right here in the href of the login, and we should change this to login_page because this is the name of our route. So now that we have done this, we can test the changes from clicking here, and let's refresh the page to changes to take effect. So I will go to home and I will click login, and you can see that everything works fine. Okay, so once we have done that, then let's start working on our forms. So it makes sense to go to our forms.py and basically create one new form like we did for the registration. So it will be as easy as going to our forms.py and start working on a new class. But this time we are not going to create all the fields like in here. Basically, to log in our users, we only require to have username and the password, and for sure the submit field to take some actions. So I will go down here and I will start creating a new class. So it will be class login form, and this will inherit from the Flask form as well. And we will go inside our login form and we will start saying username equals to string field, and the label that we are going to give here is going to be just username like that. And the only validation that I like to create here is the data required. So I will say validators equals to a new list, and inside that I will initialize the data required, and I will close the instance of this class by adding parentheses. Now the same approach will go for the password as well. So I will allow myself to copy everything from the username and paste this in and change this to password and change this string field to password field and change the label to password and delete the name. And this is fine to leave it in here, and the last action will be the submit. So now I will also allow myself to copy that from the registration form and paste this in, and the label for that would be something like sign in. And this should be fine for creating our login form. Okay, so once we have done that, let's go ahead to our routes.py and create an instance of this login form. So I will start first by importing it right here in the market.forms line. So I will say login form and I will go here, and right before our render template I will say form equals to login form, and I will close the parentheses. And now I can basically use here form equals to form, exactly like we do in the registration page as well. So once we have sent the information of the form, then it is a great idea to go to our login.html and customize this HTML page. Now again, since we pretty much implemented this HTML logic in our registration form, and actually to save us a little bit of time, then I already have created this form HTML tag. So you can find this code snippet in my website by easily going to part 11 of the Flask series and search for a code snippet that is going to be named login form. And also make sure that you paste this in under the body class text center like we have in here. And I'm going to paste the form tag, and let's actually go over what is going on here. So the first here is the div with class of container, and if you remember, this is responsible to centralize our information from being this wide to something like that. Okay, so this is containing the information inside of it, and here we have our form tag with the class of form-sign-in, and right under it we have the hidden tag, which is necessary for generating the CSRF token. So you should be familiar with this because we covered this in the registration part. And in here we have a header with please login and an image with the logo of our website, and in here we basically use the Jinja syntax to grab the fields of username and the password. And once we have done that, then we have a breaker line that is separating our field from the next HTML information. Now right above the submit in here, we have something new that we did not see before. So this is the div, and inside here we have a text do not have an account. So I decided to create this just because to allow our users to go back easily to the register page if they don't have an account. So you can identify this by seeing the href with the anchor tag, and you can see that it leads our users to the URL of register page. So let's actually see this in action. So I will go to our website and I will log in, and now you can see that we have the username field and we have the password field, and we also have the do not have an account, and we have a button that says register. Now if I click on it, then you can see that it leads us back to the register page. Now functionality like this could be also a lot nicer if we have implemented it in the register page. So I'm going to do that just in a second. So we will go to our PyCharm and we will easily grab this code snippet from here, and we will paste this inside our register.html. So I just opened our register.html temporarily, and I'm going to go as we did in the login page, and I'm going to paste this in right above the form.submit, and that time I will say already have an account like that, and I will lead our users to login page, and it makes totally sense to change the text in here as well. So once we have done that, then we will see the same result in the register page as well. So if we click in here, then you can see that it leads us back to login page. Alright, so I think this will close the episode, and on the next one we are going to configure the entire functionality that is needed when we actually press on sign in. So it is going to be things like verifying the password is correct and the hash is okay, and we also want to display messages and give some nice output to our users when they are logged in. So it is going to be a lot of fun as well. And if you liked this episode, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you already did not. I will see you on my next episode.